In today's episode of Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode Creative, we build a compression singularity system. With that being said, let's get into today's episode. In the last episode, we built this snazzy looking armor, aka the draconic armor, and I am feeling pretty good. Now, this armor was the pain in the butt to craft. Today, I think my plan is to go ahead and get all of these singularities, including the eternal singularity, which is basically all of them combined together. And to do that, we are going to need the neutronium compressor with all of these materials, every single one of these materials inside of it. Well, 44,000, and I think some of them are different, right? Like 49,626, all like different variants of numbers, but I'm pretty sure we have every single one of these. We just got to put them in block form, and then we got to compress them. So the plan is, well, first of all, we got to start by making the neutronium compressor, right? That's going to be the big thing that we have to do today, and it's a pretty big craft actually to make. Once we do this, everything else should be relatively simple. Honestly, I think the best route for this is not to use our main system, but to shift it into another system up there or something, right? So to get started, we are going to need a few of these neutronium large plates, which honestly, I'm not entirely sure if we can make them because I'm not sure what the melting point of neutronium is. We actually might need to upgrade our smeltery with like gasoline or something to kind of like make it smelt faster. Yeah, it does look like this is going to smelt, but it's going to take a long time, right? Because you can see that bar is barely moving up. So I think what we can do is we can break this down, right? And let's break this down as well. And let's swap out the lava for gasoline. I wonder if we have the gasoline made. I don't think we do, because we do not have the pneumatic refinery rather. And I think we can make that really quickly. I'm not sure how easy the refinery is to make, but it should be relatively simple. So these refineries hopefully can be made. Yeah, we just need 4 of them. And what we got to do is we got to hook this up to pressure. So we're going to go ahead and put this, I guess, like here. This should be fine. And what we have to do is we need to get the vortex tubes, right? So these guys right here, and we need to put the hot side, yes, like this. So the cold side is going to be venting into this, which is then going to turn into the hot side. We're also going to make sure that we, keep the temperature high. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and block up all but one side of this, right? So there we go. And I guess we can block these off, and then we got to basically item pipe out of these on this side. So that should be okay. And then we're going to pump in oil onto this bottom side of this. So what we're going to also do is we're going to need to pressurize this vortex tubes. So we're going to need, I guess we could use advanced pressure tubes. I don't think we've made those yet. So this is going to be more than fine for the application that we're using it for. So if we do this and we pump in, oh, you know what? This might be sided. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So we got to basically pump it on this side. So that's now hooked up. Now that that's hooked up, that should start to go ahead and put heat into these vortex tubes, and that should start to go ahead and heat up this refinery. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. And also, we're going to want some heat sinks as well. So we're going to take the heat sinks and we're going to put it on the cool side of this. That's not the side that I want it to be on. I want it to be facing this way. Yeah, beautiful. And then let's also, take some blocks here and cover this up to kind of help with retaining the heat. And as you can see, we are maxing out the temperature. Here's the better question. Do we have a simple way to make oil? That is the bigger question, because if we don't have a simple way to make oil, we're kind of in trouble. So I couldn't find a way to make oil, but I want to try one thing before I resort to looking online, and that is the Amazon tablet. I think I might be able to buy it. Now, that's a huge if, but I'm willing to try it here. So we're going to need the GPS, which is going to need red plastic, which we can totally get, which we have plastic over here, and we can make it over here. So red plastic, need 4 of them. Right. I'm hoping that the Amazon tablet will allow us to buy some oil, because then I can create of it. I am not thinking this is like PO3, because I know in PO3 you can totally buy oil, but I don't know about it here. So selling 5 buckets of oil will give you 1 emerald, but it doesn't look like I can buy oil. Let's give this a try. I don't have a charger. That's fine. You can go ahead and make one. So something that I failed to realize is the Amazon tablet comes pre-filled with air, which is very nice of them, actually. Not gonna lie, that's actually really cool that, you know, it comes pre-charged or whatever. So I'm just gonna quickly, you know, take that and throw that in there, and, you know, boom, we have infinite of it. But I'm gonna take my Amazon and I'm gonna grab a gold chest, and I'm gonna try and link it to this guy. So the way this works is we put this guy down, and we you know, link it to this, and I basically say, hey, let's, you know, get a couple of emeralds and throw it in here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna get a tank as well. This is gonna be very important. I don't think I have a normal one of these tanks, do I? I do not. Where is portable tank? Is that not what it's called? I'm pretty sure that's what it is called. Oh my god, this is so expensive. Why is this so expensive? I'm gonna just try to put it into a creative tank. I don't think this is gonna work this way, but I'm gonna give it a try. So if I link this to this and I tell it, hey, I want to buy some oil, it doesn't look like I can buy it. It says buy 5 buckets of oil, but it doesn't look like it's working. You know what? I can probably use the mechanism tank, right? The basic fluid tank. I bet I can use it then to, you know, maybe get it. So if I put, wait, what the hell? That's full of what? How did that get any sort of fluid? I am so confused. How did that get fluid? I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how that got fluid. Add more fluid, a bound tank, or bind a bigger tank. So I guess I can't buy oil then? Maybe I can. Let's try this. Let's place this order and see what happens for 2 emeralds. Oh wait, I think it's happening. Oh my god, it's happening. Beautiful. They only robbed me basically because I had to reorder more. Okay, perfect. Now I can take this, shove this back in here, and grab a bucket out and swap it out for something else. Okay, so that's how you get oil. So you're supposed to order it from the Amazon tablet. So portable tank, let me get a creative tank here, and what we're gonna go ahead and do is put this portable tank here, put the oil inside of it like so, and then we're gonna get some fluid conduits, right? I guess it doesn't matter what fluid conduits we really use here. We could use the mechanical pipes or whatever, these guys here, if we really wanted to. And I'm just gonna need the configurator for this, and I put this here, and we're gonna tell it to extract only. Oh right, I forgot. This is we gotta make sure that the fluid pipe is on the bottom of this thing, so that way it can pull the fluids out. I forgot about that. That's my bad. Now that's doing that, that should start to go ahead and process all of that stuff into diesel, kerosene, gasoline, and LPG, which is what we exactly want. So we do gotta be careful. So the way that we're gonna do this is we're gonna get a bunch of portable tanks, and I think what I'm gonna do actually for this one, I'm actually going to use ender fluid conduits, because ender fluid conduits are way easier to work with, especially when, oh, you know what? Yeah, I don't really like that feature of this. Okay, so I guess the way to do this then is not going to be that way. So the best way to do this is we're going to have to cascade the pipes. So this is going to go out, it's going to go here, and the next one's going to go here, and then the top one's going to go here. Oh, but that makes it tricky for how we're going to basically do this. I could also potentially use fluid filters that might maybe work. Do we have fluid filters? We don't. Oh, that's really annoying because we can't cascade it, right? Because if we cascade it, like I'm gonna like basically do this, right? And then that's gonna go, I guess, there, and then that's gonna go there. I guess that works, right? Because that's gonna go there. You're not gonna connect there. That's gonna be, oh god, you're not gonna connect there. You're not gonna touch this guy. You're not gonna touch this guy, and then that's gonna go here, and then you're not gonna touch this guy either. Dude, this is so jank, right? And you're gonna go here. This is so jank. And then, so that's that. And then that's taking care of that. And then you're going to take care of this one. And you, my friend, are not going to touch here. That should be everything routed perfectly. Always active. And then you're going to be always active. And then you're going to be always active here. And then you're going to be always active here. So that's LPG, gasoline, kerosene, and diesel. And we want the gasoline, right? So we're going to take the gasoline and we're going to take it upstairs, which I believe we even have gasoline. If I'm not mistaken, don't we have gasoline over here? I'm pretty sure this is gasoline. I'm pretty sure this is, and I can't really see what's in here. It is. I'm silly. I totally forgot that we had all of Galactic Craft done, and that's, you know, using gasoline. And what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to grab another seared tank, and then we're going to fill this one up with gasoline. Now, I am going to do a old trick. If I remember correctly, I can basically import the gasoline from the bottom of the smeltery here, and I can totally put a door surrounding both sides of the smeltery here, and that should also help retain the heat of the smeltery, making it much hotter. So if I put this here, and what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna grab a wooden door. I know this sounds really silly. If we grab a wooden door and we basically use it to close the smeltery off, it should, in theory, keep all the heat in. So if I do this, you gotta place it in the right direction. It's weird how you're meant to do this, but I think if I place it this way, right, like facing in towards itself like this, that should in theory help keep the heat. So we can go ahead and do this. So there you go. And perfect. Dude, even with gasoline or fuel, dude, this actually just might take a long time. Does it make any progress? I'm gonna sit here for like 5 minutes and see if it's made any progress. So I was doing a little bit of research, and apparently this is supposed to insta melt. However, I did notice this is not moving, so I don't think I can smelt this in the smeltery. However, I want to test to see if this is one of those materials that can be done in the part builder, and turns out we can do it in the part builder. So that's how you get that. However, that makes me wonder, because I believe we also need rods for the neutronium compressor, correct? I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah, we need the tough rods. I assume that is how we do it as well, because that doesn't really make sense because it's not melting in the smeltery. So I would assume that that is how we're meant to do this in a way. So let's make this tough tool rod real quick and toss it in here and see what happens. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought would be the case. Okay, so now we've got those two parts. How do you make neutronium blocks? Is it just really simple? Is it just like a crafting recipe? It is just a crafting recipe. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. We can actually just close this to make sure we keep the heat. Don't tell anybody. So that's how you do that. Okay, so that's good. We've got that done. And I'm pretty sure we basically have everything else minus this like hopper thing, which looks really expensive, which not ideal, but we will make it work here. So let's get these two things inside of here first. So the tough tool rod and the large plate, where did that go? Did I put it in here? Really? Did it just like vanish from my inventory? Okay, so to make the thingy-mabobber, the impulse hopper, we are gonna need to make a few things. We're gonna need to make the Z-Logic controller for one, and I think I need another axe here. Can I just use like a simple iron axe? I don't know if this is gonna work that way. If so, that's gonna be really annoying because it has only one durability, and that's like the one thing I don't like about Kappa mode is these tools only have one durability, and like trying to do this really does stink. I don't know if this applies to this, but I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, it does. It only has one durability. So I'm gonna take the Z-Logic controller and we're gonna combine it with the soul vial of a zombie, and that should give me the Franken zombie that we need for the impulse hopper. So that plus 10 levels should give me the Franken zombie, which we need for the impulse hopper. Perfect. Good. We are making strides. So for the impulse hopper, for the neutronium compressor, there we go. The impulse hopper is going to need this controller, which it's going to require some, I believe, normal hoppers, which for some reason I do not have. I thought I created these bad boys like a while ago, but I guess I didn't. There we go. And we can make the neutronium compressor now relatively simply. So now we're pretty much ready to go ahead and build out everything that we need for this, right? So if we want this, we're gonna need the neutronium stuff, large rods and plates. We're gonna need the flux blocks, so flux crystal blocks. There we go, the flux crystal blocks. The crystal matrices, those are definitely going to be needed. There we go, we have some, perfect. And then we need, what else do we need for this? And then a block of neutronium in the middle. Oh, and the hoppers, the impulse hoppers or whatever. And then let's get the neutronium, and that's gonna go right here in the center, like so. And then we're gonna need 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 of these, like that. And then let's go ahead and put the crystal matrices in the corner like it axes. Okay, and then this is interesting. Oh, you know what, we don't have everything. We need the compressed iron stuff. So compressed dark iron, and then let's also make sure that we, you know, put neutronium back on our source, and then it's gonna go that, and then, okay, so perfect. Let's grab this and then this, and I believe in the middle goes these guys. So let's just follow this pattern, and the crystal matrix ingots go here and here, assuming everything is symmetrical, and it does look like everything is indeed symmetrical. I think what we can do is assume this is going to be the case. I put that in the wrong spot, that's my bad. That's also in the wrong spot. What goes in the bottom middle? More crystal matrix ingots, and then we're going to take the neutronium heavy duty plating and make a line with them, and then that is connected with those tough rods. Where are the tough rods connecting it? So that means I definitely did something wrong. It would help if you put that there. Whoops, my bad. There we go. The neutronium compressor is done. Beautiful. Now we're gonna need a bunch of these. So I am going to create of this. So let's go ahead and dump that in here. Now I am going to need to test a few things. I think this can be automated. I think if we just like put it into the top, it should be okay. And if we export it from the bottom, maybe that's how that works potentially. Now it becomes the game of, well, we got to get literally every single block in the entire game. Unfortunately, I mistaked the flux crystals for fluxed electrum. We don't have fluxed electrum yet. So to make this is a very interesting. We can take electrum, redstone, and pyrotheum and make it in the alloy smelter. I didn't even think that recipe existed. I'm very happy it does exist, because dear God, this one can be a bit of a pain in the butt to make, to be honest. And I'm kind of excited that that recipe does exist, but that's assuming we have pyrotheum, which we do. We can go ahead and take this and put this in our alloy smelter to make the fluxed electrum. So I figured out a new way of doing the compressed automation here, and I'm gonna take the drawers and the compressors, right, and we're gonna use translocators for this. It is incredibly fast. So if all I gotta do is make some translocators, and honestly, it's not that bad. I looked at the recipe and I'm pretty sure we have basically everything but these redstone chips, which require a comparator and a redstone upstairs in the laser doodad. So if we grab a comparator with a thingy of redstone and we come up here, this should in theory make what we need for the translocators, like so. With the translocators crafted, let's go ahead and take our gold chest and go upstairs with the neutronium collectors. And what we're gonna go ahead and do is place down a row of 33 of these. 1 2 3 4 32 and 33, like so. With these, now what we're gonna go ahead and do is place down a bunch of translocators, like so. And then once we do that, we're gonna go ahead and place down our neutronium compressor on top of that, like so. And then on top of that, we're gonna place down another translocator with another drawer. What we'll do is place a translocator there, and then that's gonna be the setup for this. this is all built, all we got to do is come here and activate it like so. And then all of these singularities should be made. Now, the only tricky part is we have to do this manually, right? So if we want to make the eternal singularity, we got to take all of these singularities out and then also put them into the crafting table, right? Which is kind of annoying, but at the same time, I understand why. Why is that one not compressing? Blocks at titanium is broken. That's not ideal. Hopefully that's the only one that's broken here. But for the rest of these, it looks like they are going strong. Now, I'm a bit concerned that this is not... Okay, no, wait. We got to set this up. Perfect. So they do extract from the bottom. Beautiful. That's what we want to see. Now that this is done, let's go ahead and take all of these. We are going to have to figure out why titanium isn't working, though, which is going to be interesting. I think I just made it with the wrong titanium, which honestly kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We'll have to figure out why in a second here, but there we go. We have all the singularities except for titanium. So titanium is a problem. So eternal singularity, and titanium is right here. It requires titanium blocks from the quantum flux one, which is it just not an ore dict? Oh, this is not an ore dictionary. So let's see. We have to figure out where we're going to find this nether titanium ore. I guess I'm going to go to the nether real quick and see if I can find some titanium ore. So it turns out I missed a thing. I can take normal titanium and put it in the compressor and it will turn it into the right titanium blocks. So that's kind of my fault. But you know what? We got the right blocks now. So all we got to do is take our axe and break down this guy right here, and that should, in theory, that should give us everything that we need now. So as long as I do this and we creative that bad boy, we should be good to go for titanium. Now, the only bad part about this is that titanium is now going to be well behind all the other guys because these guys have been running for quite a while now, and as you can see, we've already got 25 singularities. The last thing that we have to go ahead and do is take our drawer controller and hook it up to this guy, right? So there's 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are going to need 2 of them because it is 33 blocks long, unfortunately. And I did also put the creative upgrades in all of these. The last thing that we have to do, though, is take all of these singularities and toss it into a direwolf table, right? And that's going to get us the eternal singularity, which is what we need to go ahead and start getting into the end game stuff. So let me grab a diamond chest really quickly so that way I can go ahead and plop this guy down like so, and then drop all of my inventory in there minus my crafting terminal really quickly. And we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves a direwolf crafting table like so. And based on the way that I've put these singularities together, I basically put it in the exact order that they should be in the crafting table. So it should, in theory, if I just do all of the... Oh my god, I cannot shift click this in here. This is going to be really, really annoying. Oh my god, dude, this is like awful. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and grab... Okay, so there's the silver one, and then let's grab all the nickel ones and the copper and all that fun stuff, and diamond and charcoal. This is actually pretty simple, actually. So all we gotta do is this, and then once we do that, that should be the eternal singularity. And just like that, we now have the eternal singularity. Beautiful. Let's go ahead. Wait, let's go ahead and take all of our stuff back, and let's go put this down in our ME system over here. This is actually really nice that we actually got this today. So now we can actually start the end game, which is gonna be a lot of fun. So perfectorino. Hi cow, how you doing? Let's go ahead and get this guy creative ASAP. Boom. Beautiful. We have now done the eternal singularity, and I feel real good about it. Unfortunately, guys, we're out of time for today's episode of Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode Creative. If you did enjoy today's episode, please do me a huge favor. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, ding dong that notification bell. Become a part of the Council of Elder. As always, guys, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna leave you till next time. Bye bye.